Ah, yes, the Buccaneer program. Yes, yes, I don't know, some sort of sports joke.
I get seasick. Hold the game still.
Well, thankfully we don't have to go and pick up all the flies again, because that was really a pain in the butt last time. So that will definitely save a little bit of time here. The Stormtrooper spray is done. Nice. Ah, I see. Yeah, that would do it. I guess it did also kind of help in Scarlet Violet a little bit in its own way.
Isaac, Lido deck is filthy.
Ah, yes, I do love that little bit of, like, almost JPEG artifacting around the outside of those explosions. Very funny game.
Crank up the Gilbert and Sullivan, dude.
Unfortunately, less funny is that we're going to be hearing, like, the same 5 lines in this entire level, because of issues. And listen, I know that Gex has a certain reputation, but man, they are really leaning into it a little bit here. It's almost like the first round of the Bubsy reboot. From before they decided to actually make a good game. Ah, well, that would also kind of make sense in its own right because, well, same region as XY.
We'll follow you, preacher.
Although I guess that the gameplay would probably be a little bit more like the Arceus game, but more advanced. Oh. Well, that's a good job on my part for not pressing the X button in time, I guess. Or maybe for my input being getting sucked. Yes, I don't know anything about Demon's Turf either, but yeah, I've heard some pretty good things. And just in general, again, based off of what I know from Bubsy 4D, I would be inclined to assume good game developers because, listen, I hate to say it, but when you're making a Bubsy game, you're basically working with a constant debuff. So
Gilbert. Captain Street's back.
there's that to think about. So maybe one of these days I'll actually get around to checking out Demon's Turf, and it can go on my list of also like 1,000 games probably that I still need to take a look at. Because God knows that my Steam library is massively overfull. And yet I'm playing this for some reason.
We'll follow you, preacher.
And yet I'm playing this. And then also looks at the massive preponderance of roguelikes and stuff of that nature in my Steam library that have been opened at various points.
Crank up the Gilbert and Sullivan, dude.
Instead of doing anything productive today, I basically reinstalled PSO2 for like 10 minutes. That way I could learn how to take one screenshot without the HUD up.
Gilbert.
A game I probably will not go back to in a serious manner because I stopped enjoying the new Genesis content, and of course OG PSO2 is basically a ghost land. Waste Town. I think I mangled those terms a little bit, but you know, what do I look like, T.S. Eliot here? Jesus Christ. Too much stuff to try to Gex out. I have no idea how good the emulation is on
Isaac.
the limited run thing,
Deck is filthy.
but I will say this. I think that the middle game in the series, Gex Enter the Gecko, is quite good. This one, not so much, but still, there's some value here and there. Again, aside from the fact that they really cut down on the number of lines that Gex has per level in this particular game compared to the other one, so it makes the fact that Gex is so infamously talkative and full of reference humor a little bit rougher. It's just like, oh yeah, I've already heard you make this joke like 10 times, dude. Or sometimes you'll get to such a point where it's like, oh, you're saying literally the same line you just said, which I don't think I encountered even once when I played Gex Enter the Gecko on this channel. Which is kind of fucked. So, the Bubsy collection. I saw someone play Bubsy 3D on that. I saw Plastic Alan play Bubsy 3D on the Bubsy collection because he's enough of a sicko that even though he already streamed that and, you know, already served his time, as it were, played it through once and he went back and restreamed it on the Bubsy collection again. What a maniac. But I kind of admire that about him on some level. There's some pretty interesting stuff that they did with that, with the, like, giving it an alternate control scheme, but it did seem like the Bubsy 3D emulation was a bit buggy. And some people will be like, oh, well, Bubsy 3D, herk, but listen, I'm saying that compared to whatever that one had going on at the time, which I don't think it was actually as bad as all that when it comes to bugs, it was worse. Which is kind of wild. If I had to guess, the Perfect Collection is missing either the stuff from the first Bubsy reboot, as it were, which would be like Woolly Strike Back and that one game that they somehow managed to get the Bit Trip Runner guys to do through what I have to assume is like blackmail or something. But even if you want to discount those, there were probably a couple of like Game Boy ports or something that were not all in there because of whatever the reason may be. Perhaps just forgetting. But anyway, I haven't seen how any of the 2D games play. I assume they're pretty okay. I thought the Jaguar game was there, which, you know, to be fair, I feel like if you want to leave anything out of a Bubsy collection, maybe the Jaguar game. Like, I will put a little bit of respect on Bubsy 3D as an experiment and also an instance of a group of developers getting completely boned by the people with the money, because they saw Mario 64 at a tech show and they were like, oh, our idea isn't going to go over very well after this. So they asked for more time and money, and basically the money people at Accolade were just like, no, go fuck yourself. Which, yeah, brilliant idea. Great job, guys. I'm sure that was really smart for you. And what happened to you as a video game company, right? Got bought out by a Chinese holding company some number of years later, and now Accolade is a brand.
Lock and load, little lizard.
Yeah, pretty much. It kind of adds up to something like that. But in theory, I will respect it as being sort of an experiment because it was very early on in the 3D platformer days. Meanwhile, Bubsy Jag
Get it on.
came out in like 94 or 95 or something. And was quite sufficiently deep into the history of 2D platformers. So, yeah, at that point, the level of quality there is significantly less excusable. Bubsy for the Jaguar is the kind of game that could very easily build both the bad reputation of Bubsy as a franchise and the Jaguar as a console all by itself. Basically. And I don't necessarily think that that's completely unfair with regard to the Jag. There have been some people who do like homebrew development for the Jag because Atari did actually release some important documents that helped out with that kind of stuff. And people have made some things with it that are fun. And I kind of respect that. And I'm not going to lie, I naturally give a little bit more respect to an indie dev, especially the smaller you get compared to a big company. So the Jaguar game was its own game. But yeah, there are quite a few 8-bit... Well, there's probably at least some 8-bit Bubsy ports that are missing. I know that there's Bubsy 2 for the Game Boy that's on there, which... That's a choice, all right. Bubsy 2 for the Game Boy is, well, it's Game Boy shovelware, you know? It's like a lot of those games that were released in the mid to even up to the late 90s that were licensed with, like, you know, latter-day mascots. Like, I had a Gex game for the Game Boy. I had like a Gex Enter the Gecko for the Game Boy, I think. And that was a really, really bad half-baked 2D platformer of the very generic sort. But yeah, Game Gear, I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But also, I believe that the majority of the 16-bit versions of the games that are on the Bubsy Perfect Collection are oriented a little bit more toward the Sega Genesis side of things, which I am not necessarily opposed to. My primary nostalgia for Bubsy 2 is Sega Genesis related. Although my main reckoning with Bubsy 1 is on the SNES, actually. So, interesting how that shakes out. But I do own both them on the Genesis. And yet neither on the SNES. Who knows how that happens.
Lock and load, little lizard.
So that's kind of interesting. I think some people would probably be like, well, that's a shame that that's missing. You remember playing Bubsy 1 on Genesis, but you were also like 6 years old and thought it was hard. To be fair, Bubsy 1 is a game whose design is very, very much like at odds with itself in a lot of ways. Because it really wants you to take things very slowly, but it's also designed so you go fast, like super easily, because of course it was a Sonic competitor. Oops. Nice one, Tab. That Mortal Kombat collection coming out? I feel quite positively about the Mortal Kombat collection overall. That seems like a thing that'll be pretty cool. Looks super duper complete. Digital Eclipse, I believe, is the company name, right? And generally speaking, I have a fair bit of positivity towards those guys from my recollection. Like, they've always seemed like a pretty good company. in terms of ports, assuming it's the company that I'm thinking of. So I think that's going to be in good hands. I did almost come very, very close to, like, dropping a chunk of cash on getting a special edition of the Mortal Kombat collection. But ultimately kind of decided not to, especially because any sort of, like, money-related thing, I'm going to have to probably set that aside for a bit. I still want to order that off special edition, the Switch port of off, because yeah, I played that game and immediately became a freak. Well, you know what I'm saying. It was a really, really good story game. Oh, they're not getting online due to emulation. That's a shame. That's interesting, though, because, like, I want to know what is the differentiation there, because in the back of my head, I'm like, wait, wasn't the first thing to get online multiplayer with that Yu-Gi-Oh! Early Days collection one of the Game Boy games? So Off is an indie RPG that was made back in, I want to say the original is from 2008, if I have this correct. It's a little bit facile in terms of the gameplay, but it is very much oriented around the story, and I have played Off already on stream, so I feel okay, like, spoiling it as just to, like, hey, yeah, it's in my archives. It'd be like, you know, we're a season or two deep into an anime series, and I've just, you know, something big has just happened, and now I'm referencing it again. So, hey guys, the magical girl who had the guns got her head bit off. And yeah, so while the gameplay is facile and generally kind of easy, it's much more of being a thing that's story oriented around ultimately the character that you play as, who's this very terse guy who says that he's on this mission to purify this area. And it gradually turns out that you're doing something deeply horrible by helping him. You play as a blues brother. I mean, yes, he does. Doesn't he call the mission explicitly sacred even in the original? Or am I forgetting the exact thing here? So, but I know that in the trailer for the modern remake, which is a little bit different, unsurprisingly, he does explicitly call it a sacred mission. Anyhow, yeah. Long story short, good game from a story perspective. I don't know if everybody would be sold on it from a gameplay angle, but I don't know. Nowadays, it seems like turn-based RPGs are feeling like much harder of a sell to a lot of people in general. Oh, by the way, we can access this boss now because we have 13 remotes. But I'm out here looking for these fly tokens to see if we can find 100 of them and possibly get a remote for this area. I don't know if that's a thing. But at this point, why the hell not? Because, yeah. Anyway, forgot if I was going to say anything else. But, yeah, a lot of people will probably have followed me for a while to know that I am very much a person who cares about game stories quite a lot. So I think that Off is really neat as a result of that, and I would love to pick up the Switch version for reasons of A, support more of this, please. Both to hopefully give Mortis Ghost, who is the original solo developer of the game, well, I think there were probably like a couple other people also counting his music guy. You know, give them some more money, hopefully, assuming they get some sort of royalties for it. And also, two, it's being sold by Fangamer, and I don't know if this is necessarily misguided, but I feel very, very good about Fangamer as like a company. And when it comes to the merch stuff they do, mostly because I don't think Fangamer has ever had any sort of like drop shipping controversy, you know? Which is a thing that has happened with limited run games. Some of their like boxes and various other materials were just straight up drop shipped, which is kind of a shame. But I mean, yeah, Fangamer has merch for a lot of... I think Fangamer was doing the Hypnospace Outlaw special edition a while ago, and I love Hypnospace Outlaw. They've got Baba Is You merch. They've done a ton of stuff for Earthbound. So yeah. Oh yeah, they did Hollow Knight stuff too, right? Yeah. So overall, Fangamer is a company with like taste. And I kind of want to be a little bit like, yeah, you guys definitely should get something. Meanwhile, limited run, even if you set aside the part where they've got some of their merch is clearly just stuff that was from, you know, various Chinese mass production websites and drop shipped and marked up as is according to that sort of thing. You know, even aside from that, I think by the time you're calling your company Limited Run Games, you are wearing your heart on your sleeve a little bit, in the sense of being like, hey, look at us doing a capitalism. And personally, I'm not a great fan of that. Granted, you know, we just sort of exist in the system, and sometimes it's like, hey, how far can you possibly get from that? You play insert modern game here. You've played a couple of gacha games, all this other kind of shit, and etc. Oh, by the way, do you remember when you used to be a Magic fan? Still are, but don't buy the products. But that's basically sort of the ancestor, the common ancestor of loot boxes. Yeah, basically, it does sort of come down to the like, hey, it is good that somebody is doing some physical editions for video games. Because the whole digital only thing just sort of ended up being like a bit of a scam on the part of larger companies. Like, personally, I think that that if your offering is digital only, you should be lowering the price as opposed to raising the price of your physical, but, you know, that's enough of me talking about Nintendo. Anyway. Oh, Jesus, that's unfortunate to say the least. I didn't know there was any, like, anything going foul with any of the Croc stuff. Except that I had heard from a review that it was just like a very, very dry sort of remake. If that is a term that makes any sense as a descriptor, and I certainly hope it does. But that's about the product itself as opposed to amount of stock or anything, so but yeah, that's just sort of an all-purpose lament really about the state of video games as a thing. And also, yeah, I feel quite positively about that MK collection. really lately, I haven't been that interested in a whole lot of modern games, just like re-releases and stuff. Although I was looking at the recent Digimon game again, Time Stranger, and that seems pretty neat. But I also think that's a franchise that's like doing very well with itself in general lately. And maybe part of it is just that Pokemon is in such a funky position with a lot of stuff that it is kind of like, you'll look at the competitors a little bit anyway, and then you'll look over at Pocket Pair, the company that made Pal World, and you'll look at their literal game that was themed around AI art theft, and you'll go, I don't think I like you guys either, but for other reasons. But I digress. Point is that right now I haven't really got a whole lot of cash for anything like that at the moment. But anyway, that and also whatever I get given by my family this year is probably going to mostly go into some rehousing and battery stuff for some of my old electronics, because they aren't necessarily looking so hot. I've needed a new PSP battery for actual years at this point. For example, that one kind of like has slipped past me a little bit. Where are these last 3 bugs? Are they even in this area? I sure hope they are, because otherwise I feel like a complete goofball. Did I check the... I don't think I checked the War Channel one, so... let's go back to figuring out where that is. But... and if there's one other, like, video game related thing that I kind of want right now, it is that Phantasy Star tabletop RPG. And I'm not like a big fan of tie-in TTRPGs, particularly because that's just kind of like, oh hey, this is a board game with more steps, and I've been a pretty strong non-fan of all of the like just tie-in board games for most things. I mean, for a start, I'm not much of a board game person to begin with, but second of all, I mean, it's already a game. But anyway, that one is more particularly on the basis of like, yes, I'm glad that Sega has finally decided to do something with the original Phantasy Star tetralogy. Because I've kind of wanted another piece of media that deals with the era of Phantasy Star from before PSO for a while. And I'll take it, right? And I'd be quite happy about anything in that sort of domain. Personally, I'm also a little bit of the mind of like, hey, you guys could have actually done something with this while Ryoko Kodama was alive! And maybe we'd actually get Phantasy Star 5 based on some of her ideas, you know, based on the person who actually basically the franchise was their baby, but, you know, better late than never, Sega. Let's not pretend that Sega is necessarily entirely a company grounded in good taste. like, yeah, okay, they'll devote a large proportion of their resources to RGG, and I'm okay with that. You know, Yakuza definitely deserves to have the sort of budget that it gets or should get. And then you look over the level of gacha cosmetics and microtransactions in PSO2, and you'll look at the fact that I don't think anything has come of those trailers to resurrect some of their old franchises that they played at, like, one of the trade shows a couple of years ago. And you'll just kind of look over them and be like, what is your decision-making process and why is it so fucking stupid? Like, how many lead paint chips does the recent CEO of Sega, you know, did he eat as a child, right? And listen, I get it. They were tasty, but... See, all of us know that those lead paint chips are pretty delicious. Okay, let me on the boat, you dick. Come on. I'm using this to ensure that there isn't, like, one really weirdly out of the way fly that I missed or something. God, the camera does not like this thing at all. And I think maybe on some level there's something kind of wild about that, because you think about it, and Sega has spent a lot of time, to be fair, with just sort of being that company, I guess, where they are stuck halfway between here's a really good decision and here's the stupidest fucking thing you've ever seen. Like the 90s, all right? 90s Sega. It's kind of like, okay, the CEO of Sega back in like 1999, when he was at the end of his life, he was sorry, I gotta actually piece my words together here so that way I can keep my award of being more able to talk, being better with words than Donald Trump, basically. Anyway, so yeah, God, yeah, like, again, in the late 90s, the then I believe it was CEO of Sega was dying, and Sega was developing Phantasy Star Online for the Dreamcast. So what the guy does is he goes, well, I'm going to pay out of pocket to give everyone who buys this game like 30 days of internet service, so that way they can play the online. Because internet service in Japan was not really all that common at the time for, like, consumers. So this, great idea. Very cool of him. Meanwhile, at the same time, 90s Sega is also when Bernie Stolar over at Sega of America, a guy who is like, oh, Sega should get out of the hardware game, since basically the time of the Sega CD, landed on that pricing decision for the Sega Saturn that in all likelihood killed the company as a console concern. So that's cool. Oh, by the way, we did get the remote. I was distracted by complaining about Bernie Stolar. So, you know, very, very pointedly, fuck that guy. But also just, that kind of gives you an idea as to what sort of a weird place Sega was in terms of being a huge mess. of have good decisions, but also really terrible decisions. So, we take out some searchlights and 5 tents. All right.
You're the only one, Gecko.
Nothing like army clothes for total comfort.
You're not wearing... It's got some sort of footwear on. Never mind.
Back in 42, we used machine guns to shatter searchlights, sir.
Oh boy. Yeah, much like the cannons, you cannot tell where you're aiming with this thing. Like, they give you a little aiming sight, but you can see that it's part of the model, so it's useless.
Hey, forget about it.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, although I think that one sort of lands a little bit more squarely in the, hey, Brazil fucking loves this shit kind of territory, because a big part of why the Master System continued to be supported for that long had very much to do with the fact that the Master System was fucking huge in Brazil. Okay, yeah, I figured that would happen, but I don't know, maybe I was hoping these would be on a timer or something. Like, I think it is actually still possible to pick up Master System clone consoles very easily in Brazil as like a sort of a main platform, really, as opposed to nowadays where it would be like, oh, hey, yeah, you can't afford an actual console. Well, just get a Retron. It will emulate badly. Actually, there's several asterisks to be involved there that I'm not sure what the actual quality of a lot of those clone hardwares are nowadays. But I definitely recall that, like, the last time I saw one in a store, that whichever, like, Hyperkin or Retron or something it was that did a bunch of systems from that era, apparently it was not very good and the build quality was quite poor. So, you know, just to sort of put that out there, that
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
we're talking about hardware that had a rough time emulating, like, the NES, possibly. I'm not a great fan of those clone consoles very much, and excuse me. Just taking a sip. And otherwise, I'm also not sure how I feel about the, like, Anbernic stuff, which doesn't use cartridges. It's just all emulation.
Go on, hit me.
Buy a Switch a year ago. Yeah, pretty much. But to me, it's also like, I do most of my gaming at home. So I do not feel a particularly large deal of value to do with portable consoles as much. It's a big part of why I'm in this sort of like, oh, well, I don't have a whole lot of great interest in a Steam Deck, even though the Steam Deck is definitely kind of cool. Because what the hell would I do with it? I'm not going to play PC games outside of the house that much. Wow, I really am not good at jumping over those. I hope I don't die because it's Banjo-Kazooie rules for the collectible coins here. So I guess ultimately what I'm saying is that a lot of those, like, Anbernic handheld units and stuff, they satisfy a niche that isn't a thing that really matters for me. Well, nice. Pat's General Store. Wow, what an incredible pun. It's terrible, but also kind of inspired. These tank controls feel a little bit... I think it's just that your turn rate is such that it feels really sensitive. Well, still, that's neat. Even if it is one that, like, everybody has, it's still kind of cool when it shows up, because statistically they're not supposed to be very common, apparently. I almost kind of want to go boot up Violet and go shiny hunt something, but then on the other hand, it's like, ooh, yeah, wait, no, I have the DLC. That game performs like ass now. Like in a way that is more significant than when it came out. I also don't have a Switch 2 because LOL money. And, you know, probably some other reasons, but at bare minimum, I think that's the main thing to say there is that, hey, money, and second of all, not a ton of games that are Switch 2 exclusives that I hugely want at this moment. Like, I'm very neutral on a lot of Nintendo's major franchises. So, you know, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy it for Mario Kart World, and I don't even really like racing games that much. Why would I do that? I already have Crash Team Racing. That's kind of what the template is for it, in a lot of ways.
Note to self: don't get killed in big loud war.
That's usually pretty good advice, actually, dude. You're not necessarily wrong. Yeah, there really aren't a whole lot of Switch 2 exclusives at this point. And Bonanza is one of those games where I feel like I just get sidetracked by one of the other, like, goofy add-ons to it, like the digging, I think it is. Yeah, and if I was gonna go for a Muso game, I think I probably would, like, specifically go for a Dynasty Warriors game, because I just still sort of appreciate that sort of vibe and the relative goofiness of Dynasty Warriors. So I've just been mentioning, like, all of your favorites at this stream by weird coincidence, haven't I? And yeah, you're right. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a both consoles. I forgot about that. Although I think there was something very specifically... Oh yeah, Metroid Prime 4, people were showing off that bike preview and being like, well, it seems like it might be a little more open world now. And I'm not a big fan of that as just a game style, period. Even in a franchise that I like. So, that might end up being one of those games that's just sort of like on the chopping block in terms of how interested I am in it after all. It started with Bubsy. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've played worse than most Bubsy games. I'm not so sure about versus the Jaguar Bubsy game, but I digress.
The Pentagon spent $25 million on this one level.
You see, Gex, that's gotten a lot funnier over time, actually, because of, you know, military actually investing into video games as recruitment tools, something. Anyway, oh, that's a little dismal. In this area? Yeah, it's going to have to come down very heavily to, like, I have to see what it's actually like when anything actually comes out. Which I guess is why I said might be. But of course, I think at this point we can all probably accept that most game previews, there's a little bit of BS involved in a lot of that stuff. I mean, the phrase bullshot is continued to be a thing for a good reason. Jesus.
Horrible chaps, those snipers. Stay in the foxhole maze.
I mean, I guess it's kind of fitting that the war-themed level would be the one that would have all the stuff that causes a huge amount of damage at this point, but whereas the pirate level was mostly just damaging to my psyche. And that specifically, Dusty, I do not recall off the top of my head. I mean, it sounds kind of familiar because just the preponderance of advertising in video games in general. So it's not really that weird sounding of an idea, but I don't recall this specific incident, to be honest with you.
The first word out of your filthy sewer will be Gex.
Oh, geez, I wonder if that's an actual thing in this game, because I'm like, wait a second.
This were the 60s had run and hide. Of course, I'd have sideburns and belt buckles.
No, I got. Oh my god, the sheer amount of damage that you take in this level, again, you know, unsurprising, but it's a bit of a problem when you have to collect all these flies without dying. New Zelda 1 randomizer thing. I may have to have a look at that at some point.
When they say olive drab, they mean drab.
Or forget, because I forget a lot, but yes, yeah, I definitely think it's like an unusual thing to do on some level that I wouldn't really know how to comment on it. I mean, I guess it fits with the world building, but it is still kind of product placement, right? So, compromise, etc., etc. Although, yeah, it is definitely like, hey, at least it's not the military.
I miss the make love, not war level.
Especially now, as we've got, like, God, I think Microsoft is actually like licensing out shit from Halo to use for ads for ICE, which is many levels of fucked.
Where are you from, son? Texas? Holy! Incoming!
Right, it's not really the stupidest form of that kind of concept, but admittedly, I'm not really prepared to say that I much like any version of it too much, but unfortunately, product placement is just sort of a thing that that has become so normal in every medium, including video games.
Swinging for the fences, baby. The Pentagon spent $25 million.
And I guess the amount of comment I can have on it in general is kind of not a lot. Yeah, there's definitely been some very fun, like, fake advertisements that have shown up in various video games. Boy, this would be a lot more plausible if I could aim.
If I was Alan Alda, I'd be sobbing.
Note to self. Don't get killed in big loud war.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much where it's going at this rate. Oh, and then they somehow find a way to collect debt on you when you're dead. That's the phase 2 of the plan. Whoa, that hit me from so far away. Okay, good. I can tail whip those guys and actually take them out without taking damage. I was a little bit afraid.
Oh, gun! 40 days in the cooler!
What's our health looking? Okay, we do still need a little recovery. It's all right if they make everybody get brain chips. I'll just eat a magnet and I'll explode and I'll take someone out with me in the process. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't think about things like that, but to be fair, it's mostly a bit, probably. Regardless, all right, get out of here, Grenade Man.
Tail doesn't like you.
Oh, we can climb on that thing. That's handy. For Sonic Battle. I'd say I wonder where it is now, but I'm sure that Sonic Battle hasn't suddenly gotten more professional reviews, or certainly not from professionals that are recognized by Metacritic. Oh wow, the Klonoa GBA game is on Switch Online. It's kind of a shock. I wasn't sure that anybody had actually remembered that except for me. Granted, I don't think I ever finished that one. Bubsy SNES is on. Wow, I really haven't looked at my Switch Online recently. Actually, I don't recall if my Switch Online sub lapsed or not. I think it might have, because I didn't really put the biggest amount of value to it, because I don't know how much I'm going to stay with the Pokemon series past this point. Oh, right, that's a whole other sub, so Asterisk has to get attached to that one. But that would be the main thing that I would do with it. And also, I definitely didn't go in for the expansion pack for Switch Online, so I wouldn't know about the GBA stuff offhand other than seeing trailers. A big part of that being I didn't know that the $50 was going to be worth it for me because I already have other ways of playing these games that I don't own. I would assume that it all comes down to licensing stuff, as usual with any of that. Or also for somebody upstairs to remember that some of those games exist. Like, that's not a problem for, say, the Donkey Kong Country games, which I bring up more because I know that at one point they were removed from the Wii shop, back when that was a thing, because of dealings to do with Rare and, you know, because Rare is owned by Microsoft now. So presumably a license fell through at some point. But yeah, basically a large part of the time, it just kind of comes down to there's licensing problems with a lot of video games, period. Like, this is definitely a thing that happens a lot on PC as well. Other than the fact that GOG, you know, and certain services of that nature too, have trouble getting some of these old games. Like, there was just an article recently about GOG having to hire private investigators in order to find the rights holders for some of these games, because otherwise they just could not find this stuff. But then there's also stuff like that Deadpool game got pulled. I don't know if it ever returned. I think it did return briefly and then got pulled again. I believe Spec Ops: The Line has been pulled, and that is due to music licensing. I know that one for a fact because I looked it up when I was doing videos about BioShock, because I mentioned that game quite a bit during those videos. So, yeah.
Don't get killed in big loud war.
Oh yeah, I gotta assume that is a big thing. I just don't know that I have... I certainly don't have family members that I could split that with, and as far as friends go, I mean, I don't have a whole lot of those either, to be honest with you. I am kind of a loner, and it also depends very much on how much of them are actually that interested in a Switch plan. So, setting all that stuff aside, let's go back to the other side of the map, so we can go probably try to get more flies, or at least get a checkpoint.
The Pentagon
Yeah, like,
$25 million on this.
also with regard to the Sonic games and music licensing, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an issue because, like, you think about Sonic 06, right? A game that we've played on here and will, you know, have a nice goof at every once in a while, or even sometimes be kind to, which is probably something that very few people are willing to do. Not without lots and lots of beer. But that had... Not only did that have that song by Zebrahead in it. I think it was Zebrahead was the group. But also... there was a remix of one of the songs featuring Akon, I think, which... You know, that's just sort of the conditions of the culture of the time, right? And yeah, so I gotta assume that, like, pulling all the strings to keep all that shit together would be an absolute goddamn nightmare. Like, if I could make a big budget game, like my dream big budget game to make would be that I would love to have a game that's, like, very much visually inspired by a lot of old retro sci-fi fantasy art, and with a soundtrack of, like, old school prog rock and shit to match. But just imagine what an absolute fucking shit show it would be to license that stuff from record labels, right? Also, there's no way that sort of idea would ever get off the ground for me because I'm not that good at creating things and I am too awkward to network properly. Anywho, setting all of that stuff aside, all that business, all that ish. But yeah, I forgot about the fact that Crush 40 lost a legal battle with Sega recently. That has got to absolutely, like, hamstring anything to do with older Sonic games, because that's what proportion of the like mid-period Sonic identity, right? Oh, I probably should not use the term Sonic as an adjective here because that produces confusion, but yeah, if it's THQ related, yeah, and that's why if Quest 64 is so good, there isn't a Quest 65 yet. Wait. That's a joke, guys. If only I could easily drop into, like, a full Foghorn Leghorn at the drop of a hat here, because I feel like that'd be a good time for it. Anyway. They were just a publisher in the US and possibly elsewhere, but mostly the US as far as I know. Imagineer, the actual developer of Quest 64, still exists. Remind you of the soldier guy from Conker's Bad Fur Day? Nice. Not gonna lie, I have never actually played Conker's Bad Fur Day. I assume that Conker's Bad Fur Day is one of those games that's, like, not aged as nicely as one would like it to have. Not necessarily to say that it's bad, but definitely that hasn't really aged quite as well as you would have liked it to. Plus, I mean, shooter on a console. I have a bad feeling about that.
Let's get it on.
Hello, soldier.
All is fair in love and war.
Damn, it took us an hour to get a real remote. Well,
Don't you ever give up.
I guess out of a new level, never mind. We did get the other two from the pirate level, so I guess we've gotten like 5 in the last hour, so. Yeah, the main thing I recall about the Xbox Live version of Conquer Live and Reloaded, as it was called, I remember a lot of people being kind of upset about the amount of censorship that was added to it. And personally, from the perspective of like,
Ryan, I don't know Ryan, but if it gets me a tongue full of bugs, that's my mission.
you know, from the perspective of a little bit of what company it is, that does kind of surprise me, I guess, on some level. It's like, hey, it's Microsoft that is softening this game compared to Nintendo's original version of it. Granted, I think also that there's probably this effect where, with regard to Conquer, that I don't know if as many people would be like quite as interested in it anymore, for reasons of the idea of, here's something that looks like a cartoon character, but it's made for adults, is probably a lot more passé. Like, not just because of South Park either. I mean, yeah, you know, South Park is still a cultural juggernaut, and at the time it would have been sort of a perfect thing to get in on that ground floor with, but nowadays, that's far from abnormal.
That was amazing, sir. Well done.
Right, yes, that is sort of what I'm talking about, but, well, mostly just sort of related, really. That, yeah, there is the part where people might not have suspected that it was quite as adult as that, which is probably why they had an extra warning on there in addition to the M rating. They had another thing on there that was like, warning, this game is not suitable for kids, but I'm sure that a lot of parents who were buying that for their children did not look at that. And for that matter, probably didn't look much at the little rating symbol on there. I mean, they weren't the ones who were getting carded for that, so, like, who fucking cares, right? Granted, I say that,
I can accessorize this.
I
Handbags, some
forget if I ever mentioned this. I probably did. But back when I first moved out here away from Chicago, I got carded at a Best Buy when I bought the orange box.
because I rarely wear underwear. And when I do, it's usually something unusual.
And I think I was almost 20 at the time. I think the only time I ever got carded for buying a game while I was under the age was when I bought Haunting Ground used. And I think I was like 16 at the time, which is not that far off, but I ended up growing up in a family in a situation where, you know, my mom had a particular bug up her ass about ratings, at least for a while. And I sort of got that too, because I very much turned into the... I kind of turned into the loser of the family, that I was the one who would just always listen to things and, you know, not have questions. You know, maybe I was kind of a lightweight in that respect, but whatever. Regardless of any of that kind of bullshit, though, my dad was there at the time, so thankfully he was just like, yeah, whatever, because my dad did not really give that much of a fuck. Maybe it was constant exhaustion from working in a factory, basically. So, anyway, yeah, there is that too, and on top of that, it generally kind of seemed like the early development of Conquer for the N64 was going to be another more kid-oriented game at first, and then
This for the 60s had running high.
they hit a certain point where they were like, actually, we're going to change this into something that is a little bit more South Parky in nature. I don't necessarily want to say mature, but definitely aimed at the adults, because again, you basically you start the game and you bounce on a sunflower's tits. I mean, maturity may not necessarily have been the exact turn of phrase here. I say this, and I would write like 40 pages of essays about the design of that one woman from Dead Estates. So maybe I'm deranged. This is also a significant exaggeration on my part, to be fair. So anybody who's like, come on, let's see it. No, fuck you. Unless you pay me. Asterisk, some of you already do, so maybe I can't use that threat. Anyway, let's get off of this bad joke real quick. And yeah, Conker was a character that people would have possibly known a little bit beforehand as being like a child-friendly character, and then that game happened. So it was quite reasonable for them to put multiple warnings on the box, you know, not just, oh, here's an ESRB rating, a thing that kids don't respect, which is not necessarily unfair, but because ESRB ratings are subject to a little bit of bizarreness at times, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would suspect that the ESRB would jack up certain ratings on certain things in games for certain subjects that I would consider to be fairly safe by comparison. Basically, especially the type of, like, there was a thing for a while about the MPAA apparently being harder on movies that depicted queer relationships than straight ones. And I'm not sure how true this is, but this was something that I recall being circulated for a while. And I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't really put it past the ESRB to also take that sort of approach with games. But perhaps I am a cynic, and being a person who does not conform to their birth gender assignments and is bi, maybe that cynicism is understandable with regard to this particular subject. Ha ha ha. Anyway, where the fuck is this last crate? I've seen it earlier. I didn't internalize anything in this locality. I'm stupid. But yeah, the point here is that there's also the part where you put that on there, and maybe youngsters would probably be a little bit more like, oh, well, this must mean it's super cool, therefore I have to play it. And then, well, what I'm saying is I completely understand why Conker had an extra warning on there about the mature content, because it's got to be like, we're serious, guys. We are absolutely serious. Also, what an odd, like, choice of character to put through that metamorphosis, and just an odd change in the overall, really. Like, that's definitely a choice. A very, very odd one. But I suppose that Rare being a little bit unhinged is not necessarily outside their wheelhouse. Excuse me. Okay, circle button to get out of the tank. At this point, I really am just gonna try to run around on foot and see that I didn't miss anything in terms of crates, you know? It also would help if we weren't getting into, like, standard issue camera issues of the early 3D platformer era where it just collides with shit. Only the swearing is censored. That's a choice. But also the fact that they lied in the advertising, that's pretty significant. That is a thing that is worth knowing and also being quite angry about fairly specifically, I think. That just, hey, they did openly lie to you about what they were selling you. And they just kind of got away with it. Well, I think it didn't do very well, so maybe got away with it is a strong term, but... Yeah, Rare Replay, I mean, the thing that restricts me from Rare Replay is that I don't own any Xbox consoles that are newer than the original, so... Yeah, it's very strange that happened, is, like, all I can say. Oh, wow, this really has not drawn this entire time. Great job, game. Thank you for aptly fucking with me like that. That's pretty good.
That was amazing, sir. Well done.
It's tail time.
Oh, here we go. We're done with this level, so now we can go elsewhere. And we've got a couple more levels to scavenge here. And by that, I think I mean only one and a boss. So let's go this way and fall off the thing a little bit. Because that's the secret level. And this way leads us to the western level, yes. The old western station here.
Lock and load, little
The old
lizard.
Western Union. The Oregon Trail. Yeah. This is the world's largest mound of poop. Oh, what? This entire game? Collect 5 of a kind and climbed a mountain.
Saddle up, hombre.
Well, our first goal here, as always, is going to be to get 100 of these things. Like, since it's Banjo-Kazooie rules in this game,
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
God, these guys are too fast. I think they're tapped out though, so that might be why. They speed up to let you know, hey, it doesn't matter anymore.
There's gold in them there, T.
Broke Bronk. This is some pretty eerie atmosphere, actually. I think it's because you've got these light these sort of lightning crashes, and you've got this big black void over this. Like, there's no skybox here either. There's a moon in the distance, and that's like it. This is
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
certainly a choice of atmosphere.
The donkey's user manual says can climb steep hills.
Wait, a donkey has a user manual?
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
Dusty, Dusty. God, I love the truck.
Going to assume I got all those, and if not, I guess I'll start back over from here and be really frustrated. And press circle to jump off.
Punk?
That's a pretty severe noise this ass is making. I guess I get it, but still, whoosh.
Swinging, baby.
There we go. Oh, see, it's the level title. That's it, everybody. Roll credits. They said the thing. Oh, apparently the donkey just dropped back down. Also, danger, and it's a pit full of cactus. You know what? That's fair.
That donkey is a wild one, sir. It could even headbutt.
Oh, it can? I didn't notice that earlier.
Fixin' to kill you.
I say, is that a pterodactyl? But no, it's just because I couldn't see it very well against the backdrop. It's a vulture. Just sort of behaves like the pterodactyl enemies in the previous game.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
I could use a theater.
Pick that up. Even though we're probably not going for that particular remote just yet, but we'll find out. Okay, this looks like the way of the massive pile of shit, which is at least a oh, hey. So at least it's not like, hey, just keep going along the path and keep passing each one. This remote branches off. The five of a kind, I assume we get as we climb up the mountain, basically.
Go ahead. Make my lunch. Yeah, I'm sorry. It must have been the beans. Howdy. There's some duty.
Yeah, see the massive pile of crap has got a bunch of flies on it. Ah, yes, toilet humor. A staple of the 90s and every other decade for that matter. Playing this level yesterday, I had a hell of a time finding the... Oh boy, that's slightly worrisome. This... I have no idea what all I'm in for just yet. With the rest of this. There's another bonus coin for us. Hidden in a slightly precarious looking position, but maybe not that bad.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
I'm going to guess that if I miss any of them, they're likely to be stuck in one of the chickens at the beginning of the level, and I am going to feel very silly for not quite getting all of those. Full health? Not full health.
Howdy! There's some beauty.
Hey, come here, donkey. Okay, I think we have to stand still to do that. That took a while for us to take the damage. That's odd. I hit him in the head. Oh, I getcha. That's just kind of how it always goes, isn't it? There's this one thing that's really easy to miss, and then, well, you miss it.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite homo.
Dang, I still got hit by that. I don't think that guy is killable. Doesn't seem like it. Either that or he's just sickeningly durable.
Lucky punk.
I mean, go ahead. I don't mind hints. Oh, that was pretty bad. Oops. Hit that now, even though I don't really need to. It's behind the waterfall. Oh god, okay, that's... Ooh, that is well hidden. I guess, hey, it's not unusual to check behind the waterfall, but dang. I would not have guessed that that was a texture I could just pass through. Thank you! That's massively helpful.
Give him the bit, give him the bit. Dusty, dusty, awesome. You feel lucky, punk?
Okay, so I'm assuming he just takes a while with anything else then. Or if we get a breath, we could have a little bit better of a chance maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay, I guess I just gotta actually hit him in the head with that, so... that's fair enough, actually. But still. Now this guy, I was gonna say I basically gotta be on top of him when he spawns in, alright? At least that would make sense. Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Ooh, I see. It does actually reflect. I didn't notice that when I killed the guy the first time. Well, that makes sense. We've seen that sort of idea before. It's not the first time we've had to whip things back at other enemies in just this game. Mostly, I think the evil Santa on the first level, but plus, I mean, that's sort of a time-honored tradition in Gex anyway. In Enter the Gecko, the first boss was Return the Fireballs, so maybe it's not that weird. Oh, oops. That's okay. Now I just gotta remember, don't hit that right away. Get the rest of the stuff in this area first.
Gotta know his limitations.
And then we can checkpoint after we get that.
Go ahead.
Now I'll feel like less of
Make my lunch.
a goof. But hey, the one-ups respawned. All right. All right.
Another bug in my gut. I'm getting my fill of TV.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll take at least some of it. I'm not necessarily gonna invest too heavily, but hey, if they keep coming back, even after I checkpoint after hitting them, which I think they do, then you'd best believe I will take advantage. Nice. That one went a lot easier that time. Oh.
There's gold in there, T. Barkeep, I'll have a sarsaparilla.
Yeah, that's the first time I've heard that so far. That's pretty fun.
I'm a-fixin' to kill you.
It's pretty nice to get a few more lines every once in a while, because I have noticed that it feels like he cycles through the lines a lot faster in this game compared to the previous one. At least for the just regular in-level interaction kind of stuff. Oop. I'll come back for it in a second then. Or I won't need to. There's another one right there, and I suck at timing and depth perception. Ooh, buddy. I guess those other ones were a fluke. Yeah, he respawned, thankfully. I didn't realize that at all. Let's get this, and then go back for the donkey. I think the donkey might help us make these jumps, too. Oh. Yeah, that was me trying a little bit too hard to try and do that on the run-in. That wasn't such a good idea. Alright, now please, I was gonna say, please don't despawn just because I turned my camera off of you. That'd be a bit of an issue. Pausing briefly.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Okay, so I don't know if the donkey can come with us if we go across this path. Oh, man, that was bad. That was some bad play, and I'm not afraid to say it. Not afraid to admit it. I think I just wasn't expecting to get launched forward as much. I hadn't been paying attention, clearly. Uh-oh.
Barkeep, I'll have a sarsaparilla.
Okay, now this time we pop off the donkey here. And we go across this area. Now surely we can't just go up that way, right?
You feel lucky, punk?
I see. Gonna send that thing back. So what's up with this? That doesn't really look that hard to get, actually.
Gold in them there, Chief.
I was worried for a second, but not so. Ah, fuck. Well,
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
how am I doing today? I'm doing all right. Doing pretty good.
Rolling, rock.
Game is still staying pretty fun for the most part.
Make my lunch.
I was getting some awful camera angles in that pirate level earlier, though. But again, that's sort of, hey, 90s 3D platformer, right?
Our Willie is my favorite hobo.
It's the big curse of the format.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Rolling, rock.
Okay, so don't throw yourself off the cliff, you fool. But I think we can just do a drop down here in the right position and be able to get
Go
to
ahead. Make my lunch.
these things. Is this breakable? No, I wasn't quite sure. I was having a bit of a depth perception playing tricks on me thing there.
Howdy. There's some duty.
Time that better. I said time that better. Yeah, don't get so nervy. Let it get closer to you.
My tail doesn't like you.
I feel like doing repeated swings, there's a little bit more time between those than there was in Gex 2. So it's a little harder to do comments like that. That Sal and Richard prank call. I don't know that one offhand, but yeah, those Boxcar Willie ads, that was a thing for a
Punk?
very, very long time. I kind of remember those and Slim Whitman. I don't remember Slim Whitman as well, but
Mule train. Coming through the pipe.
Howdy.
yeah, those were some of the more well-known albums that were sold primarily by TV advertisements.
Barkeep, I'll have some. Mule train. Coming through the pipe.
Careful of that turn radius.
Howdy, Miss Kitty. Rolling, rock.
Gecko's gotta know his
Surely I need this, right?
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Okay, there's Ooh, careful. Oh. Nice.
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
My says hello.
You
There's
barman?
gold in them there teeth. Somebody's
Okay,
got
so I guess I was wrong about those dudes. They are technically a fixed 3 hits. It's just that
Sorry, it must have been the bean.
the way they take the later hits is a little bit different.
Right then, TJ?
Howdy, Miss Kitty.
Come on, Vulture.
Barkeep, I'll have a capsule.
This guy's being a real pain in the butt here. Come on. Ah, heck. 1 second. Just adjusting in the chair. That's all.
Gecko chop, baby. Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't even worth it to get anything. Well, Dingus McCurdy. What a fantastic name.
There's gold in them there teeth.
Bill Angie's.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
That's a good pun.
Howdy.
Cactus Carl, he was scum. Wyatt L. Earpchuck. I see what you're doing there.
Dusty, dusty.
Lights out.
Ooh, what is going on in here? What? Anything else besides that card?
I'm a fixin' to kill.
I can't zoom in. There was one of those! Hooray! Hidden behind the pillar. It might even have been in midair. Oh, I have to jump down on that from above, don't I? Because it won't let me ungrapple onto the top of it. Same for that bonus coin, presumably. And hey, there's card number 5, and it's that cave I was in a little while ago.
Make my lunch.
Do a couple of quick bounces behind the area that's out of sight.
There's gold in them there teeth.
Oh, I need the donkey. Okay. So where was the most recent donkey then? Probably all the way back and even across the gap. Well, we've gotten enough of the fly coins. I would prefer to get a perfect finish on those beforehand. Yeah, I saw that in the first of the 2 mausoleums. And I got that. Well, saw, I guess, might be a bit of a stretch, but you know what I'm saying. I saw that, I obtained it, I guess, would be a more accurate way to put it. Anyhow, we got to go back quite a ways to get ourselves a new donkey. Because we need that fella to go up some nasty hills for us.
I could use a siesta.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you, though. I do appreciate looking out for that, right?
I could use a siesta.
I'm a fixin' to kill you. Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Okay, across the stream. Let's still do that on donkey back somehow. Impressive.
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
Oh, sure, I'll catch up to the one that doesn't have anything anymore easily, but... Thank you, game. Gosh, I'm only at 78, and how much more of this level can there be left? Well, I have a feeling I'm about to find out.
You feel lucky, punk?
Ah, hell, they've all gotten all mixed up.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
There's... Okay, I think that's all of... Oh, wait, no, there's 6, not...
Gecko's
So we
gotta know
started
his
this area at
limitations.
79.
Howdy.
There we go.
There's some duty.
85. That gets us there.
Can I
Yeah,
share
that's kind of mean, to put it nicely. Of just like, this is where you're gonna put half of these fucking things. Is it there this many of our bug tokens in these really hard to hit and harder to keep track of chickens?
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Whoa. Oh, right. Every time I do that, I'm going to have to come back and get the donkey again, aren't I? Ooh. It's a lengthy... I'll come back for the bonus coin, I think, afterwards.
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
Near the beginning, you need to drop from the graveyard to access. Ooh. So I might have to take a look out near there.
Coming through the back. Barkeep, I'll have a sarsaparilla. Rolling, 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 roll.
So here we are at the graveyard area.
Boxcar Willie is my
Hop off.
favorite hobo.
Carefully. Carefully. It's just down to the start of that place. That's just out to the void.
I could use a siesta.
Ooh, alright, I see what you're talking about. Damn, this really does put us all the way back, huh? I hope it gets us a decent chunk backwards, otherwise, oh, the backtracking.
I'm sorry, it must have been the beam.
Well, good bit of stuff, but unfortunately, we are, like, literally just at the start of the level now, huh? Nothing even to climb to get us any return height. That's a pity. Oh well. Oh no, we already got that one. It just was reboxed because of the fact that I died at one point and ended up at a checkpoint. These guys too, I got them earlier, so... Health status. Oh, we already got that one. Okay, never mind.
Mule train. Coming through the back.
Python chicle?
Just coming back through this area again. Don't mind me.
Make my lunch.
If I don't have much to say, it's because I haven't got much to say now.
Coming through the back.
Gecko's gotta know his
I was a little worried for a second there, actually. I was jumping out a little. Oh, yeah, there kind of is, isn't there? I was paying only the vaguest of attention that, yeah, some of the things in the ground do kind of look, well, like guts a little bit. You're not wrong to point this out. I was the one who was not paying attention. Oh, whoa, 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 hey. That was a nice little camera trick you played on me, game. Oh yeah, we dealt with all these guys. I'll go back for that in a second, but first things first, I do kind of want to make sure that I get all of these. Would you come back here, chicken? Ow. There we go. Alright, only 5 more fly coins to get. And let's take a look at what's... Oh, this is just the end of the level. Then I'm missing 5... Where? That's strange.
Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you feel lucky, punk?
Oh, ease off there. Make the exact same line twice in a row that fast. That's a little overkill.
Make my lunch.
Alright. So we got the bonus coin. And now I need to figure out where those last 5 fly coins are at. What goofy thing did I miss?
There's gold in them there, Teague.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
I think that might help, yeah. 'Cause yeah, we went over there. So we got that hidden area. God, I really hope I don't die.
Coming through the back.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
It's down there. It's just so, is that just for a 1-up? Yeah, I see a little, like, trail there, so... Oh, carefully now. How do I angle this? Or I don't, I just have to actually find the... Oh, well, so much for that. Drop, and... These lives should have respawned, right? Yes. Now, of course, none of the fly coins we'll have because I already have those. But hey, we'll take the extra lives.
Sorry, it must have been the beam.
Don't need to worry about that for now. And we should not have to worry about getting anything in here now. Unless there's another hidden texture that I missed or something.
You feel lucky, punk? I'm a sucker for bugs.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Okay, well, we got absolutely nothing more, so I'm hitting that way prematurely. Favorite hobo, he said, which, because, yeah, that was what Boxcar Willie's gimmick there was, the musical hobo, right? Those old infomercials. Wait, what's this?
Make my lunch.
Oh, it's just a view down to... Yeah, I should be able to just drop this down to the size here.
Howdy, Miss Kitty.
I could use a siesta.
Get in the this thing.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Okay, so that's where I just was. A is
You try.
mountain.
Coming through the pipe.
Howdy! There's some duty.
I'm gonna try just going back to roughly the start of the map and use that as our
Boxcar Willie
way
is
of
my
trying to
favorite hobo.
hash this out. Okay. So here we are. Pretty sure I properly farmed the chickens here. Back up.
Python chicle? Dusty, dusty.
Across this. Go around the bend. Bridge. There's that hidden one up.
You feel lucky, punk?
Corner.
Rollin', 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 rock.
Okay, I have sorely miscalculated then where that position is on the map. And my navigation skills are not necessarily the world's greatest or anything.
You try.
So,
Coming through the pipe.
entrance A, I think, is one that we've gotten everything in. Yeah, because there's the spittoon and all those guys.
Port breach is imminent, Captain.
What am I doing? That doesn't work. Oh, whoops. Alright, so... Hold on a sec. I am reading stuff. Apologize. Yeah, there's just I'm not completely sure where I've missed those, but I can tell you one thing. I definitely did not do this part super well.
I'm a fixin' to kill you. Go ahead. Make my lunch.
Yeah, I don't think I got the things in here before I last hit a checkpoint.
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
That's better. We'll time it right eventually, I'm sure.
Gecko chop, baby, yeah!
2 and... Did I miss that before? I don't think so, but I may very well have. It's a pity it's not worth 5 of those, but hey.
Howdy, Miss Kitty.
Flashbang ourselves with that thing. Get some lives.
That's the sweet stuff, darling.
I took a damage. I should... Well,
I eat it.
and go back up. Yeah, we're definitely... We've been farming up those 1-ups pretty decently. At bare minimum, we are just gaining, so every time we die from my own, like, weird incompetence, we'll come out ahead. So, can't complain about that. Just had to make sure that was gotten. Nothing in the weird corners there. Alright, and that takes us to location C.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
That's
I'm a
probably not necessary, but it does reset our checkpoint position, I guess, at least, so.
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
There's gold in them there, T. Mule train.
Okay, yeah, so this is the location where we want to start doing the drop-off. Ignore the enemies. I think we don't need to kill the vultures. They haven't dropped anything for me yet. At least I didn't see them drop anything for me, so...
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Barkeep, I'll have seven.
I'm just proceeding along here to make sure there's nowhere else to drop off here. And it does not look like it. So we go back to the other drop-off point that we do have to take.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Get what we're here for.
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
Yeah, I can't break that. Didn't think so. It didn't show up on the map anyway, so...
Howdy! There's some duty.
I do this a little differently and just like scan any local areas to make sure there's nothing nothing hanging off there.
I could use a theater.
Drop off carefully. Go get ourselves this one up too, because why not? It's here. I mean, I was trying to do it earlier, but it didn't work. As you might be able to tell.
You feel lucky, punk?
Ow.
Take my lunch.
Cross the bridges. Get our health back.
Howdy. There's some duty.
And just keep on going. So I take a little chair reposition here.
There's gold in them there, T.
Okay, it's there.
I could use a theater.
Finishing the game.
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
Bison Jiggly?
Gecko's got a limitation.
Else there. Thanks. We got the paw print from one of them.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo. Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Yeah, I get it, sir. Okay.
Rollin', 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 right.
We are up to here now. Across this part of the river. And now we're in the chicken zone. Come here, it's not like I'm gonna fry you and stuff you in a wall. Eesh. Yeah, like I said, a few too many situations of him repeating the same lines in this game so quickly, especially sometimes back to back. I feel like if this is his main personality trait, right? Is that he's this talkative and he makes a lot of television references. I feel at bare minimum that his reference pool should maybe be a little larger. And that they should be, at least it shouldn't be in a position where you get the same line literally back to back. Oh gosh, that's got to be really irritating.
Go ahead. Make my lunch. lunch.
There's gold in them there teeth.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Yeah, it's 95. I assumed that I actually missed some from some of the chickens over there, because it definitely seemed like I did. Making sure I didn't miss anything back there. God, shaking these chickens down is like the actual worst. They move so fast and you can't always tell if you've tagged all of them, but I think now I've tagged every one of them on the inside. There we go. Oh Jesus, no. Yeah, that'd be a problem. I was pretty sure I couldn't go in there because I didn't see it on the map.
Go ahead. Make my lunch. Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Here. So we've been down that way.
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
Kind of want to drop off the corner and see if we can get closer. Something, because there's a couple of things there.
Coming through the back.
Oh, I can just jump over the fence apparently. Okay, so that's just right down at the very start.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Rolling, 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 right.
I could use a siesta. I'm a fixin' to kill you.
Again, I don't think that guy's actually worth anything, so... It's just that my brain is like, hey, yeah, try it anyway. Alright, so those aren't worth anything. How about this one? Get out of here, donkey. I don't need you right now. Alright. That'll do. Some health back, and... Again, just making sure that I got all these.
Howdy! There's some duty. Dusty, dusty.
Oops. Yeah, I have a feeling this is what was going to be the problem, is that we didn't get all the chickens. because it's quite hard to tell apart these guys, and because they move so fast,
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
it becomes a problem pretty rapidly.
I am the greatest. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Alright, we are just about... I assume that we got all these now. Again, I really wish there was some sort of, like, good indicator on them. Other than just like, oh, you caught up to them finally, and they didn't have anything when you hit them. Let's check around this area.
Willie is my favorite hobo.
I know that there's no drop down here.
There's gold in them there teeth. Rolling, roll high.
Okay, no, that was a funky texture.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Nope. Alright, that's where the hidden remote is. Did I get all these guys? God, it might help if I didn't crash into the cactus at the same time. Alright. We got all those. I'm gonna go make sure that I got everything on the path to this remote. Let's get off the donkey for now to fight this guy.
Go ahead. Make my
That, yeah, there's nothing here. We have the bonus coin behind that thing, which is not marked on the map. That's odd.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Although some of these markings don't seem completely exact. Shit! No! Oh boy. Well, that's irritating.
Howdy! There's some duty. Do you feel lucky, punk?
Howdy, Miss Kitty.
Nap time.
You like me now?
That up,
Go ahead.
and we go
Make my lunch.
back this way.
Barkeep, I'll have sarsaparilla.
I'm a fixin' to kill.
Just something. Something to get rid of these damn chickens. They are causing me some issues.
Coming through the pipe.
Okay, yeah, we got these guys, right? Yeah, those ones are saved. It's just that there's at least 2 down here
There's gold in them there teeth.
that I know we haven't gotten yet.
I'm a fixin' to kill you.
Oh god, this is such fucking torture.
I could use a theater.
Somebody's gotta do it.
Hey, let me off. Oh, it's 'cause that land is not flat enough, probably.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Gotta love the taste. Barkeep, I'll have a sarsaparilla.
Okay, well, there's another one.
Night, night, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, I was only missing 2 when I died, so... That means that once we go back and we get everything else that I lost between that death and that checkpoint, I'll be missing 1. Which is almost worse, but...
I'm sorry, it must have been the beans.
Because that's like, oh, that could be anywhere. Usually you see you're missing like 2 and you think, oh, they're probably grouped up or something, right? But also, man, these chickens are just awful. Who decided this was a good idea? And were they paid for it? Because if
You
so...
lucky punk.
Ooh, Crystal Dynamics, you have some strange choices going on. I have full health. See, at least the ones in the crate can be pretty easily
Howdy.
guaranteed by going at the short side, I guess.
Lights out.
I didn't think so, but I wanted to make sure. As we've established, the vultures don't carry any. These guys certainly don't have any.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
I didn't think that guy had one either, but just to be sure. Did I get the lives in here yet? I did not. Let's do that now.
TV's instead of potatoes. Dusty, dusty. Another bug in my gut.
There was one above it, and yes, we got that, unless there was something else we have to do with this.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Make my lunch. I'm a fixin' to kill.
So, I mean, I guess I could try tail bouncing on it and see if that does anything. And the answer is no. Someone's having a bit of a laugher up there. A Larry laugher. Wait. So I will deal with the rechecking the path to the one at the large dung mountain after I make sure that I get everything else.
Billy is my favorite hobo.
Because
You feel
the
lucky,
rest of
huh?
this isn't super dangerous now that I know the path through the level. Oh, shit. That's right. Love that massive turn radius. Quite helpful. Oh, I spawned that much further up? I did not realize. I thought this gunslinger was a lot further back. Unless there's two and one of them just hasn't shown up yet.
I could use a
Well, there's nothing with any of these. We're gonna go into the mausoleums again in a second, and
Go ahead.
there's nothing in here, right? I can't, like, knock this over or anything, can I? That'd be weird.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Yeah, there's, like, nothing going on with this particular, grave that we can go into. Where did my donkey go? Oh, he just was hiding behind some of the plants. He's not warped back. I was going to be slightly
ahead.
upset.
Make my lunch.
Oh yeah, where you just sort of like go through the textures a little bit. Yeah, it's classic textures.
Boxcar Willie is
I didn't think so, but I was giving it a shot anyway. And there was nothing in the one grave spot that had a hole in it, so yeah, we're picking these up. Geez, that doesn't sound like a great time though. Any of those sort of stroboscopic effects happening when they don't need to. That's not good for your eyes. Okay, so we got that chicken first. We would like to try to do these such that we get all of them before releasing anything from a crate. Okay. And then there's 4 to get outside of boxes. Deal with that in a second. 4, 5, 6,
You feel lucky, punk?
7. And I'm still short 1. Shit. You know. Yeah, back to these bastards. Concrete donkey would be quite helpful here, but because it might take all these chickens down at once.
Give us a bit, give us a bit. Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Ah, shit. Didn't mean to let that out so soon.
Show me the money, baby.
Swinging for the fences, baby.
That one's been out there the whole time. Because there's only 3 out here, so I guess they probably don't scatter to outside here. Ah, shit. I got a little too close to that crate as well. Okay, so there should be 1 more,
Barkeep, I'll have a sarsaparilla.
and then I go back for the checkpoint.
Hit me, go on, hit me. Kitty.
I could use a siesta.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
There we go. I knew there was one more. So I get a little bothered by it, but
I'm sorry, it must have been the bean.
Mule train.
yeah, the way they act though, who could tell? Eesh. Now, for a sec, I thought there was another donkey there. It was just a weird angle at seeing that texture. Okay. So with all that done, we go back, hit the checkpoint, and I can say, hey, yeah, we're short one every time, so if we die again because of my stupidity...
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
it'll be easy to pick it back up.
Howdy! There's some duty.
Ah, I see. I don't know a whole lot of these references, to be honest with you offhand, because, well, I actually don't watch a lot of television, but... or movies, for that matter, but I think I've established that before, too. Ow, wow, I got a little overconfident there, to put it nicely. I probably don't need a donkey on this, anyway. Ah, I see. Yeah, that would do it. Okay, so there's nothing hidden under any of these. Yeah, I actually thought through this time to be like, hey, yeah, make sure that I have that set up so that way I can get it when I hit 99. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna go and get over to the old. I'm going to fail to press the X button. Apparently, wow. Good work with that input game. I definitely was at least trying to. Ugh. Eesh. Well,
You feel lucky, punk?
again, really good thing I hit that checkpoint if I'm gonna play like that. But I also don't have great depth perception for this specific element of the level in general. These, these things full of gold. Oh my god, are you kidding me? I wonder if there's like just enough controller input delay that it's causing me that issue. It clearly wouldn't be a very large amount, but
My tail doesn't like you.
because of every other instance, but yeah. This may surprise some of you to learn I'm not playing this on original hardware. Okay, once again, make sure there's nothing I can, like, drop off of here. No sticky walls or anything that are hiding a singular thing. The answer is no. Alright, let's go back here. This definitely feels like I might have missed something here, because I would due to camera angles. Right? And speaking of camera angles, boy, the camera is struggling to turn when I try to turn it one of those directions. Jurassic Park.
Go ahead.
Haven't watched that movie in many years, but I watched it when I was a child. That was probably not such a good idea. Yeah, okay, so it doesn't look like it's over here. Well, in that case, shortcut time. I got lives to spare, it's fine. Besides, I can go get more lives. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is I'm going back to chicken hell here.
Good.
And back on the back of our burrow here. It's not those three. We've already checked them pretty thoroughly.
Howdy. There's some duty.
I'm pretty sure it's not these two. Thankfully, they separate out nicely, so I can check them fairly easily. Right up until my donkey decides to be an ass. Oh well. Got him. Alright, the three behind the stand do not have it.
Go ahead.
Alright, if you dudes could, like, not run into the other crates, please just try to take a little bit of mercy on me here. Alright, so those three that are closest to the beginning there do not have it, I think. Is our big takeaway here. I think we've checked all 5 of those now, but let's be sure we'll go through the entire cloud again. Now! Damn it! Yeah, approaching them from the short side is not guaranteed to give you the free whip. Oh, hey, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm just checking these guys again just to be absolutely sure. Yeah, we already got those. Did we check inside the stall? I did not. There's nothing in here. Kind of a shame. That'd be a good place for it, really. Unless I got it earlier in the run of the level.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Nothing behind this lump of land here.
I could use a siesta.
Answer appears to be no.
The donkey's user manual says can climb steep hills.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite.
Yeah, so we appear to be at least done with this part, right? So we don't have... It's not these three, although I will double check again just to be absolutely sure. Absolutely safe capsule here.
That is one powerful piece of machinery.
Yeah, we should have gotten all the green scorpions by now. Like I said, I don't think the vultures carry any. Although perhaps it's like only one of them or something like that. That'd be very weird if so. Man, you were only off screen by like a pixel there, Donkey. What the hell are you doing with your life? Alright, so it's not the scorpions.
There's gold in them there, T.
It's not in the hidden texture. Oops. Wow. Yeah, I know that guy doesn't have any, but I'm just doing it anyway. Just be thorough about it. Make sure there's nothing suspicious over here. Yes. That is correct, that the gunslinger ghost over there does not have...
My tail says hello.
Does not have what we're looking for. I think we got everything in here, but just to be absolutely sure, it is very possible that I ignored something during a bit of repetition here. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the thing. Not that. Not there. Checking the corners. That's not a bad idea, because they'd probably get lost in there very easily due to the lighting.
I could use a theater.
That's not a side map there. I was hopeful for a second. And nothing on this. Here. Yeah, the camera angles are pretty rough, but I mean, as previously stated, N64 platformer, you know. That's a common occurrence. Really?
Stunt Gecko.
Oh my god. Oh!
Feel lucky, punk?
The timing on that is not nice, to put it nicely. Well, that's okay. We're literally like right here, so it's fine. Just go right back to ignoring this guy, basically. At least for a moment. What? I have to basically let that cook off a little bit more, I guess. Alright, take that and go back up here. Now we should just be able to drop off here, and if we do it correctly, that would help. But you can tell that's not my strong suit. Oops. Wow. Sure. Actually, that guy was a lot closer than I thought. I'm just sort of getting to the point where it's like, I've been through this for so long. Like, I think we spent over an hour just trying to get these last few fly coins. I have combed this level over.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
So it's going to be somewhere real stupid, and I'm going to feel real great about that. The fucking... The turn radius on this thing is immense. Nothing beyond the carts and the big bridge. Correct. Jump off the donkey, Gex. There we go. Check the corners in both entrances. Did I possibly miss those locations? The answer is probably yes. Well, there's one of those. There it was. It was in the other corner. That's... Wow, I really spent that long not looking over there. Well, alrighty. Alrighty then. Let's work on getting those main level remotes, and yeah, try to not speak of that again, because ooh boy.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Oh, the worst part is I don't think there was an enemy there. I think it was just loose on the map.
Go ahead. Make my lunch.
Oh well. Either way,
Get it on.
let's grab this one first.
Hey there. You're looking mighty tired after a long day on the prairie. Are you one of them urban cowboys?
Shucks no, darling. I was thinking of heading into town, getting my tongue scraped.
Hey, quick draw. I have another idea. Why don't you get back to rescuing me?
Rescue smashcue. This lizard wants action.
Get our last two for this level.
It's tail time.
Yeehaw, little doggy.
I'm sorry, it must have
Alright, see you later, Irene. Thank you for coming in as usual. We're almost done here for the evening anyway, so you probably won't miss much. It's probably quite helpful.
Cut. Stun
Oop.
Gecko.
Wow, he got me after he died. That is amazingly rude.
Gecko's gotta know his limitations.
Being honest, I don't need to be on the mule, really, so...
Swinging, baby.
I guess so. With the timing there. Eesh.
Do you feel lucky, punk?
I could use a siesta.
Alright, and we get this one. Oh, massive amount of shit starts to feel like a metaphor for the level. Oh, it's not that bad. It's just me. It was just me. But I am going to be a little bit mean about it, because that's how I do. And lastly, we got to climb the mountain. Which, you know, we've seen how to do that before, so... Nice of them to give us that little of the path.
Load up your 6 guns and move them.
Yeah, it would be nice if it wasn't just exactly 100 and wasn't basically operating on Banjo-Kazooie rules for the fact that if you don't get them, if you don't get them all at once and then you die, well, I guess at least you don't lose all of them if you hit a checkpoint. Gotta give some credit there. Yeah, thankfully the scaling of the mountain is just a very simple thing.
Howdy.
It's pretty obvious, just keep going forward. You'll get there eventually.
Boxcar Willie is my favorite hobo.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, I was kind of thankful for that, if we're being honest, because otherwise some of those could be a little bit bumpy. And there were some levels where you died quite easily.
Make my lunch.
So if I had to go back for those in like a single run of no deaths, sometimes that would be a little awful.
Coming through the back.
I don't try to run back to get a running start, because the turn radius won't do you too good. Don't even need to go in these things anymore.
Willie is my favorite hobo.
Right then, Chicle?
And yeah, see, when you don't have to stop for any of the landmarks or anything, this is super fast, actually. It just kind of looks big.
It's tail time.
But there we go. And after what a total mess that was, we should probably make absolutely sure we save on camera, too. Eesh. Okay.